Imagine a world steeped in shadows, where power was absolute and death lurked in every goblet. The medieval era, a time of grand feasts and brutal betrayals, often saw justice elude the cunning and the cruel. But what if a secret, whispered across centuries, finally emerged not from dusty scrolls, but from the most unexpected of places? A testament to a dark deed, hidden in plain sight, a confession meticulously woven into the very fabric of a forgotten cookbook. Tonight, we delve into a chilling tale of ambition, a silent killer, and the extraordinary discovery that rewrote history with a poison pen. In the labyrinthine courts and castles of medieval Europe, fear was a constant companion. Beyond steel and sword, a more insidious threat often loomed: poison. It was the weapon of choice for the ambitious, the desperate, and the politically motivated. Unlike a public execution, poisoning offered a silent, often untraceable means to remove rivals, secure inheritances, or exact vengeance. The symptoms, often mimicking common illnesses, made it a terrifyingly effective tool, casting a perpetual pall of suspicion over every meal, every drink, and every trusted hand. Even the most powerful monarchs lived in constant dread. The medieval poisoner was more than a mere murderer. They were a macabre artisan. Their craft involved a profound, if dark, understanding of botany, chemistry, and human physiology. Ingredients like deadly nightshade, hemlock, arsenic, and monkshood were carefully procured, often ground into tasteless powders or disguised in potent wines. The key was dosage and delivery, enough to kill, but not so much as to raise immediate alarm. This deadly knowledge was often passed down through clandestine circles, guarded fiercely, creating a network of silent killers operating beneath the veneer of courtly life. While amateur acts of poisoning certainly occurred, the medieval period also saw the emergence of professional poisoners, individuals or families renowned for their expertise in fatal concoctions. These figures operated in the shadows, sometimes employed by powerful nobles or even royalty seeking to eliminate threats without direct involvement. Their services were costly, their loyalty questionable, but their effectiveness undeniable. They exploited the era's limited medical knowledge and rudimentary forensic capabilities, making their dark trade a lucrative and terrifying profession, leaving a trail of unexplained deaths in their wake. Amidst the grand tapestries and heavy tomes of medieval libraries, cookbooks were rare and often highly valued, not just for their culinary wisdom, but for their practical utility. Our story begins with just such a volume, a seemingly ordinary manuscript, bound in worn leather, filled with traditional recipes for stews, pastries, and medicinal tinctures. Its unassuming appearance made it the perfect camouflage. Who would suspect that within its pages, nestled between instructions for preparing a boar roast and preserving fruit, lay a secret far more sinister, a chilling legacy waiting to be uncovered? Our central figure, Lady Alianore de Montfort, a woman of formidable intellect and ruthless ambition, lived within the opulence and intrigue of a powerful ducal court. Born into minor nobility, her sharp mind and cunning strategies allowed her to ascend swiftly, yet she craved absolute control. Her outward demeanor was one of refined grace and domestic virtue, perfectly masking a cold, calculating heart. She was a master of appearances, cultivating an image of benevolence while privately harboring resentments and desires that would lead her down a path of unspeakable darkness, forever intertwining her name with infamy. The target of Lady Alianore's malevolent plan was Duke Armand, her husband's younger, more popular brother, who stood directly in line to inherit the duchy. At a grand feast, amidst laughter and clinking goblets, Lady Alianore made her move. A subtly altered wine, a dish seasoned with an extra, unseen ingredient. The method was as sophisticated as it was cruel. The Duke's decline was gradual, insidious. A creeping illness, then fever, then agonizing convulsions. The court physicians were baffled, attributing his suffering to a foul humor or a sudden plague, never suspecting the silent hand that delivered his ultimate fate. Duke Armand's death sent shockwaves through the court. While initial suspicions were dismissed as unfounded gossip, a persistent unease lingered. His symptoms were atypical, his demise too swift. Yet, without definitive proof, Lady Alianore, ever the picture of bereaved widowhood, managed to deflect all scrutiny. Her husband, now the Duke, readily accepted the verdict of natural causes, perhaps unwilling to probe too deeply. The truth remained buried, the crime unsolved, swallowed by the silence of the castle walls, leaving a void that gnawed at the consciences of a few discerning observers. Years turned into decades, and the ducal court continued its intricate dance of power. Lady Alianore's cookbook, an heirloom in her family, passed quietly down through generations. It was cherished for its authenticity, its antiquated recipes a link to a bygone era. No one thought to question its seemingly innocuous culinary entries, or the unusual annotations that dotted its margins. It lay dormant, a silent witness, its secrets undisturbed, waiting for the right pair of eyes and the opportune moment to reveal the chilling truth that its original owner had so meticulously concealed within its pages. Centuries later, the cookbook found its way into the hands of a meticulous scholar, Dr. Evelyn Thorne, a historian specializing in medieval domestic life. She noticed peculiar inconsistencies, certain recipes that seemed to contradict themselves, odd numerical annotations in the margins that bore no relation to measurements, and a recurring, almost obsessive emphasis on specific, seemingly innocuous herbs. Her curiosity piqued. She began to scrutinize the text not merely as a culinary guide, but as a potential puzzle, a medieval enigma waiting to be solved. The whispers of the past were beginning to stir. Dr. Thorne's painstaking analysis uncovered a sophisticated cipher, ingeniously embedded within the recipes themselves. Each seemingly random annotation, each deliberately misspelled word, each unusual ingredient pairing, was a piece of a larger puzzle. Using a complex combination of letter substitution, acrostics, and numerology based on obscure alchemical texts, she slowly began to unravel the code. It was a painstaking, obsessive process, a battle of wits across the centuries, as the poisoner's deliberate confession began to emerge, word by chilling word, from the innocent pages of the cookbook. The decoded confession was a chilling testament to Lady Alianore's calculated cruelty. In her own hand, she described the poisoning of Duke Armand, detailing the exact concoction used, a blend of digitalis, foxglove, and arsenic, administered slowly over several days. She laid bare her motive, the ambition to secure her husband's ducal succession and cement her own power, eliminating the popular younger brother who overshadowed them both. The confession wasn't an act of remorse, but rather a final, audacious assertion of her intellect and her control, a twisted desire to leave a record of her brilliance. Lady Alianore's coded confession stands as a unique historical artifact, a chilling glimpse into the mind of a medieval killer, not through external testimony, but through her own words. It reveals a complex woman driven by ambition, confident enough in her cunning to leave behind a permanent, albeit hidden, record of her crime. The cookbook, once a symbol of domesticity, transformed into a sinister chronicle, reminding us that history's most profound truths can sometimes be found in the most unexpected and meticulously concealed places, echoing the dark ambitions of centuries past. The tale of Lady Alianore and her poisoned cookbook serves as a potent reminder that the past is a tapestry woven with both light and shadow, and that history's most compelling stories often lie hidden, waiting patiently for their moment to be revealed. Her confession, a testament to both audacious cunning and a chilling desire for recognition, transcends the boundaries of time. It whispers to us of human nature's darker impulses, of ambition unchecked, and of the enduring fascination with secrets, proving that even the most carefully buried truths can, in the end, find their way to the light. What other silent stories lie waiting, embedded within the forgotten artifacts of our shared past.